I'm at your page here.
And then you can share it to your own page and to your group.
Let me see. Do I? Oh, okay. Yeah. Perfect. Okay, so you put the video first, right?
Yeah, it's now playing. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. So share and sharing on public now. Is that it?
Yeah. And then also to your page.
Sharing. Let me check. No, it's. I think. Let me check.
So you shared it both to your page and your Facebook.
Yeah, there's two options actually. Okay. Okay. Oh, so it's it's like
it's on your page and on your Facebook. On both profiles, I can check it.
I put it on actually on both. My personal. Let me put on the other one as well.
Yeah. Can you also share it to your page?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying. I need to go to your. It's funny because it's shit, man. It's not. It's funny because it's I can't. Yeah. I think it's. Let me check. Oh shit! It went twice. Oh, okay. I got it. I have to go for my in my own page and share it.
Yeah. Go to your personal profile and from there you share it to your page.
Oh, fuck. Well, anyways.
I'll do some announcing first, don't worry.
Okay. I'm getting desperate now. Oh, no. And
good evening. Welcome to my live stream. My name is Mike Del Ferro from Amsterdam, pianist. And I'm here 3 times a week on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, playing music for you. It's 10 p.m. Central European time on Facebook and on YouTube. But I know already a lot of people know this. And on the Fridays now, I'm bringing in guests. And I'm very thrilled tonight to have this incredible harmonica player from Brazil, Gabrielle Grossie. I met him many years ago through Toots. We both have a strong connection with Toots for obvious reasons. And and we have always been in touch. And then last year we played a concert together in Amsterdam. Actually, Gabriel invited me to play with his band, and he's a great personality, amazing musician. Collaborates with people like Jacob Collier. He's with Snarky Puppy. He has a lot to tell, and I have him here on Skype. So I'm going to bring him into the picture here. There you are, Gabriel.
Hey, brother.
How are you?
How you
Benvenido.
doing,
Thank you.
man?
Benvenido. Yeah. Yeah.
Obrigado.
Yeah. So
How you doing? Good?
I'm
Yeah.
fine. Thanks for joining. Oh, let me quickly small screen here. So yeah. Thanks for joining.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah, and also there is if there are people who have any questions for this great fascinating musician, please feel free to put it in the chats and I'll read them out. Gabriel cannot see the chats, but I do. Another thing is, if you are on Facebook and you like this stream, please share it, because probably a lot of your friends are music lovers and it spreads out to a lot of people when you share it, either through just sharing or video party. We would really appreciate this. So Gabriel, in Brazil, you're an iconic, famous musician. Also here in Europe, people are knowing you also because of these collaborations with amazing people and because of Toots. But can you tell us a little bit about your musical background?
Yeah, sure, Mike. Well, man, I began, I never told you this, but I began at the age of seven, but I had just a few lessons because I was so terrified with the piano teacher.
Oh, really?
She was like an old lady, bad teacher, yeah, and I mean really strict,
Yeah.
and it was really hard actually. I mean, I wanted to play soccer at the age of 7, 8. I mean, and I just had a few lessons with her. So this is also a nice parenthesis to say. I mean, about the importance of the professors in general and the teachers, the musical teachers, because it's. I mean, when you're beginning, to be a musician, it's really important to feel to be really welcome to this world. If you get scared, it's not good. I mean, and in my case, it happened that because I was a little scared, and then I just begun to play again at when I was like 14 or something like that. I played a little bass also in a band of heavy metal. It's like I was really raw.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and then at the age of 15 maybe I discovered the harmonica, and I began actually with the diatonic harmonica, which is this one for everybody to know. It's this harmonica used more for the blues style and for this. And then after like a year, I changed it to the chromatic, and then began my big passion, and then I think I noticed and realized that I was gonna be a musician, and that was gonna be my path.
Yeah, yeah. And did you start out with Brazilian music or jazz or do you come
Yeah,
from a musical family?
yeah, not really. I mean, not my parents. I mean, I have a few cousins, and I have all with a few friends. But my parents always listened to good music at
Yeah,
home. So that was a really good collaboration that I mean, when I began to listen to this music, I mean, to jazz and to good Brazilian music, I noticed that this music was in my mind already. Because I think when you're young, I mean, children, and we really absorb all this information, and it keeps. I think it lasts on our brain or on our
yeah,
minds forever. So
yeah,
I had this privilege to listen to good music even not even I wasn't playing, but I was like listening to always to good music. And then yeah, and then I began to, when I was like 16, 17, I began to listen to more to good Brazilian music, and then to jazz. And then I went to this. I think I have a few friends online here. It was my great friends,
Yeah.
Tony Neo
Yeah.
and Corey, which they're from the States. You know, I lived in the States for a while when I was like 16, I think. And I want to send them a big hug because there was this moment I was like beginning to play and to take it, you know, more
Yeah.
seriously.
Yeah.
And I had this great friends, and it was really cool. It was funny because when I went you know, outside of Brazil, I began to listen more to Brazilian music. It was it was kind of funny this, but and then I mean, I think there's some point, then you wake up one day and just realize that, man, I'm a musician.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
cannot
Yeah.
do
Yeah. Yeah.
anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
I cannot change this. I actually studied all the stuffs. You know, I'm graduated in journalism as well, but I never worked with this. I mean, it's crazy. I only from I was, you know, from I was like 16. I only think about music, and
Yeah.
I knew
Yeah.
that was gonna be my life,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
there's no option. It's
No,
not a choice.
it's I wanted to be a surgeon. I wanted to become a surgeon, and I studied
Yeah,
medicine for two
really.
years and anatomy, physiology, and all of that. And
Wow,
I'm
man.
still obsessed with surgery and everything which has to do with surgery. But then at some point the music just like this, it's
Oh
calling your
yeah, man.
name,
Oh,
like this is
I
what you
didn't
should be
know this.
doing. Yeah, yeah. So we all have this moment that you maybe have different. Well, we all, but yeah, I recognize this, But it's
That's
it's such a
crazy.
powerful
But
thing. It's such a powerful the music and yeah. So
but
you know
playing, we have to be precise as the surgeons.
that's true.
Sometimes
Yeah, yeah. And the thing is, if you're a
there's
surgeon
something.
and you make a mistake, then it can be bad. If you make a
Oh
mistake being a
man,
musician, okay,
no,
what
that's okay.
then we still, yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean that, yeah. So
Yeah, man,
I think I
yeah.
did the right profession because now I can make a lot of
No, for
mistakes.
sure, man. For
Yeah,
sure, man.
yeah. That's funny.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
it's kind of a cliche, but I like to say also to my students, you know, sometimes, I mean, you don't choose music. Music
yeah.
chooses you. In some
True.
point,
Yeah,
it's really true because
yeah,
I mean, at some point, man, I have to play. I have to play, and then there's this second step. I mean, I have to live with this, so
yeah,
I have to.
yeah,
There's the second, but
yeah,
I think what makes us move is the passion always. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
without the passion, we don't go far.
No,
We don't
no,
go
no, no,
far
no,
away. I mean, it's
no, because it's also, I mean,
Mhm.
it's also a kind of an insane, crazy life sometimes, and especially
Totally,
combined
man,
with
totally.
family, and you have two young kids, and it's crazy. But yeah, we all do it because of out of love for this amazing thing which is called music. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Totally, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
We there were so many things to talk about, and I know the time always flies. And so what I would love to do now we know a little bit more about you for those who didn't, to show another video of your great band, um, the one with Irmãos Latinos, which means the
Oh
Latin
man,
brothers
nice.
in
Yeah,
Portuguese.
yeah,
Maybe you can. And we played this song last September when we played in Amsterdam. It's a
yeah. It
great
was
tune. Maybe you
beautiful,
can,
man.
before I play it, we show the video. Maybe you can introduce the video to us.
Of course, yeah, man. It would be great. Please, yeah.
No, yeah, yeah,
Let's do
yeah.
this.
No, no. Please, please tell a little bit about the video, and then, or I can play
Oh,
it
sure,
first.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, no, sure. I mean, yeah, Latin Brothers, Irmãos Latinos, it's this beautiful tune, and I mean, having this Hermeto featuring, it's amazing. I mean,
yeah,
Hermeto, I think it's, you know, I have, you know, two big masters that I had the opportunity, actually three, let's say, but two I really I was really close from the beginning, you know, and it's Mauricio, which Mauricio Einhorn, which is an amazing harmonica player. His birthday is today actually. So
Ah,
happy
okay.
birthday,
Cool.
Mauricio.
Yeah.
He's doing 88 years old now.
Wow.
So and he's still really strong playing and beautiful like a kid. And and Hermeto, I knew him. I mean, when I recorded my first album, it was like um almost 20 years ago now. And Hermeto was like a really, really, it was such a nice heart from the beginning.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
having this on this last album, it's so special. I mean, it's so also symbolic. It's because it's really maybe my greatest influence, and
Yeah.
and, and it's
Yeah.
it's
Yeah. And
it's really
yeah.
really special and very emotional to play with him
Yeah,
also.
yeah. For those of you who are not too familiar with Hermeto Pascoal, he is like one of the iconic, maybe one of the big geniuses of Brazilian music,
Yeah,
multi-instrumentalist, and an amazing composer. And
yeah,
Marcio Bahia, who I also have in the show, the drummer, you know him also from playing with Hamilton and all those guys. Well, Marcio,
yeah,
he'll
yeah.
he'll be in late June. I'll have him also as a guest. He told me that Hermeto writes like a tune every day, and that and then the
Every
band,
day.
and then you had to be there like in the morning, whether you played a gig or not the night before. You had to be
Yeah,
there, and then and yeah. So he's so when
it's
you see him
yeah,
also in this video, it's amazing sense of humor. You have to check these videos where he does all this body language stuff and playing in the
it's
river, and it's amazing. But there is an amazing, serious,
it's
brilliant music mind behind this man,
no,
right?
it's
Yeah,
it's it's
yeah, yeah,
unbelievable. And
yeah.
and
It's
he was like
unbelievable. Yeah,
before this concert actually. He arrived in Brasilia, the capital, to record this concert. It's a live concert, and recorded and became like a DVD and CD. And the same day he was like, "Oh man, I'm really happy." And then he wrote, and he gave me this unforgettable present, this amazing gift, which was a song that he just wrote like just before this recording. He wrote in a napkin.
yeah,
He
yeah,
got a
yeah,
napkin
yeah,
from this restaurant, and wrote this song, and said, "Oh, that's to you." And I mean, it's one of the most beautiful presents, and
yeah,
I
yeah,
always
yeah.
have in my life.
Incredible human being. Yeah, yeah, yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
man.
let me show the video of your band featuring Hermeto Pascual, and this song again is entitled Irmãos Latinos, which means in Portuguese Latin brothers. That's correct, right?
Perfect,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Perfect.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, here it comes. Fantastic music. Fantastic music. Gabrielle Grossi Quintet featuring the incredible Hermeto Pascual. Thank you. So beautiful.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Beautiful, man.
This is your original composition, huh? This one.
Oh, that's from him. That's his
Oh,
composition,
that's
actually. Yeah.
Hermeto. Sorry. Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Cool,
Yeah.
cool, cool. Yeah.
That's only actually, in this album, I recorded only my compositions besides this one, and the other one, the two guests. I mean, I invited Mauricio Horn as well, and we played the another song. It's Batida Diferente, different
Yeah.
beat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ba-da-ba-di-ba-ba-ba-ba.
Yeah. 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 I
Yeah,
remember
we
this
played
song.
we, we
We
played
played it. We
that
played it.
together.
We played it in
We
Amsterdam.
played that together.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was
I was actually thinking if there was a video of that because I would have loved to show this,
yes,
but I don't know if
yes.
it has been recorded actually. But okay, anyway, there's so much
Yeah,
music to share.
I, w-
But
I was also looking for this.
yeah, yeah. But that would be nice to show our audience our
Yeah, man.
collaboration.
That
But hopefully we can do it again. Yeah.
for sure, for
Yeah.
sure.
So again, Gabrielle Grossi here on the live stream. Amazing human being, an amazing world-class harmonica player. Let me quote Toots. We'll get to Toots Tielemans later because we both have a very strong connection with Toots Tielemans. But just to give you an idea, and I quote, Toots Tielemans said, "I was very impressed with Gabrielle Grossi. He's a harmonica player who plays with great ease and a musician of great explosion. I was also struck by his compositions and his mastery of Brazilian language." Well, hey, that's not the worst compliment to get from Master Toots, right? Yeah. It's still. I know we have the same because we talked about Toots a lot. It's.
Yeah,
I'm still getting emotional when I think about this man and the music, and it's amazing. Well, let's get to this later because let's save the best for last.
Let's skip this.
yeah, because you've been working with two bands and one artist who are like really out there, world famous. One is Jacob Collier, who's like incredible genius. A couple days ago he was. It's incredible. He was showing how he records everything in Logic and then he shares it on YouTube. How he shares the recording and what his knowledge, not about playing all these instruments and this music, but then technically how he does it. It's really unbelievable. Yeah, and he's super nice.
Brilliant mind.
Yeah, it's amazing. And he's only like 23, 24, something like that. It's really insane. And you collaborate with him and also with a fantastic band, which also has been around now for a couple of years, but they're so immensely popular. It's Snarky Puppy. And can you share a little bit how did these collaborations come about?
Sure, man. Yeah. Well, with Jacob, it was so nice because he came here to Rio and he did a beautiful concert. This concert that he does only himself, playing all the instruments and recording and looping and doing all these things.
Yeah.
Really unbelievable. And then I have a friend, a percussionist called Bernardo, which is his friend as well. So after the gig, Bernardo said, "Oh, I want to introduce you to Jacob." I said, "Please, man, I want to meet him." So and then he's such a nice human being, so humble, so simple. I mean, and he was like, "Oh man, good to see you, man." And he was like, "Tomorrow I'm free, so I would love to do something." And he was like, let's do something." I said, "Please, man, let's do." And then I kind of hooked up like this small party in my place. I invited a few musicians, and also was Hamilton de Holanda, amazing.
Yeah.
Great friend and amazing musician. So I invited Hamilton, Bernardo, percussion, and a few other friends. It was really cool. And then we have Jacob and we began to play like I think we began to play around 10 p.m. and we stopped playing almost 5 a.m. Was like and he was so I mean his ears, man. His ear training is something unbelievable because
it's insane.
It's insane. I mean, because we were playing and he's like, and I was like, "Jacob, do you want to play something?" And no, I just want to play what you guys are playing. So we're only playing Brazilian music, So, and he was like listening. He was playing the piano. He was listening, and first time he was like learning the song. Second time he learned already. Third time he was improvising and changing harmonies, and then wow, I mean he's so clever, so intelligent, so fast. It's really incredible, and I mean and then we got this connection from this special night, and a little after that I invited him to record in my in this album that I just gonna release this year. It calls Plural in Portuguese. So I have
Plural, like
Jacob on
yeah.
Plural, yeah. And this, so I recorded. I invited Jacob to record the song, and it was unbelievable, man. He always surprises. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody
Yeah. Yeah.
about
Yeah.
his, impressibility and his genius. I mean, and he's such a nice guy, and it was really cool. I mean, he was playing in São Paulo. I said, "Man, do you want to record?" And of course, man, would be a pleasure. And he was really kind. I mean, he was gonna travel, so he had kind of an hour to do that, and he did. I mean, he did amazing things
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
less than an hour.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
it was really special and really beautiful. And yeah, man, it was really unbelievable. And I'm gonna release this album this year. Actually, it was supposed to be released, but with all these crazy things we're living,
Yeah.
I postponed a little because it's no
Yeah.
condition
Yeah.
to do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah. And actually, speaking about the crazy situation we're in, let's not talk about the details as such. But what is important, of course, that we musicians, we're all well, most of us are searching for alternatives to because we're stuck at home for many months, and probably, and I know the situation in Brazil now is not good, so we're probably also going to be stuck for a long time. Fortunately, here in Europe, it's getting better, but you know, let's see how it's going to develop in a couple of weeks. I don't know. But anyway, like I started a live stream, and um, the main reason is to be in touch with my audience and to play people and share music and invite great guests like you, and of course, yeah. Thanks to this live stream, I created a whole new audience, which is amazing. And also, I've been invited already to play in the future. Someone in South Africa and someone in different countries. So it worked. It's great. But what you're doing, which is great, you started an online course, and after this live stream, I'll put the link on all the Facebook channels and on YouTube and all of that. And this course is entitled "Transform Your Musical Mind," and it's in both in Portuguese and English, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So please, maybe you can tell say a little bit, tell us a little bit about this, because I think it's very
Sure,
interesting
man.
for many musicians to have lessons by such an amazing musician like you. So
Yeah, I mean, it's really. I was thinking about this from a long time, and then finally, I mean, this situation, made me hurry.
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah,
let's do something.
yeah,
So yeah, I mean, it's. I have this kind of a Bible, let's say a musical Bible, which is a book called Effortless Mastery.
yeah. Kenny Ward.
And
Yeah.
Kenny Warner, this
Yeah.
great pianist, and great, like
Visionary. Yeah,
yeah, missionary.
Yeah.
Some,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
he's
yeah, yeah.
really,
yeah,
really
yeah,
something
yeah,
else. I mean,
yeah,
and so I've been reading this book from for the last 5 years, let's say. I'm always reading and reading again, and it really changed my life. So from my need to share this points of view that really changed the way I think about music. I mean, I was always like listening and always, in some point, having this kind of thoughts, but this book kind of made me organize this in some point and put it together. And also my new condition of life of being a father, a
Yeah.
dad of
Yeah.
of two twins. I have two daughters, Teresa and Katarina. Beautiful.
Beautiful,
They're gonna be they're gonna make 1 year and within 2 weeks.
Wow.
So I mean, so the thing about time, Mike, time became a really important thing in my life more than before,
Yeah.
because it's. I mean, we don't. When you're a dad. You also
Yeah.
know this.
Yeah. Yeah.
When,
Yeah.
when in, especially on the beginning, I think. So I mean, I'm right like beginning to like baby. So we have to be with them all the time, and I realized that all my moments with music, I had to be really focused, really concentrated, because I was gonna have like half an hour, or maybe 1 hour most,
Yeah.
because
Yeah. Yeah.
I need
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
come back.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's a kind of a think about when I'm doing something, when I'm speaking here with you, man. This is the most important thing for me in the world now. Speaking to you,
Yeah.
doing this live stream,
The
and when
moment
I'm
and yeah, yeah, yeah.
the moment
Focused in the yeah, 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 yeah,
in the present moment. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
when I'm
Exactly.
playing, I'm at that place.
Yeah.
When I'm with my child, I'm also with them totally.
Yeah.
So I think when we begin to live life really intense and really present, I think we became more happy. We become more happy, because it's kind of you from this attitude. I think you have more time to do all the things, and anything you're gonna do, you're not regretting not to do another thing. That
Yeah.
you know my point.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
I was like
I hear
I
you.
was
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I was like always suffering. I mean, I'm gonna be with my children. I should be studying. I was studying. I should be with my children. So no, I'm gonna be cool with anything I'm doing, but I'm gonna be there. So I'm doing my best. And when you're doing your best, life is better, man. And when you're doing your best, you're doing your best. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm doing my best, man.
Yeah.
That's what I can do. I cannot do anything more than this. So I believe in techniques for this, and meditations, neurolinguistic programming. Also, of course, a lot of study. I mean, you cannot increase your concentration and your musical skills without studying. So, I mean, that's you really have to do this.
Yeah.
But putting all this together, I think it's I think life becomes better. Life becomes more less heavy,
Yeah.
and more.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You enjoy more, because you're doing your best. So
Yeah.
I'm doing my best.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And this course is a little about this. I mean, I have a few meditations, a few reflections about this, and of course a lot of practical studies. I wrote a melodic pattern book. I also have a few compositions and ideas of studies. All of this together, I think when we mix, uh, our focus in life with our focus in music, things work better.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
really believe that.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Yeah. So it's called Transform Your Musical Mind, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's in Portuguese and in English, so that's great.
And in English,
Yeah, yeah. So again, what I'll do, I'm going to put the link on all the Facebook channels wherever it's being shown. This live stream tonight, I'll post it everywhere, and then people can easily subscribe and whatever. Yeah, I think it's really worth it because yeah, wonderful. That's great.
Well,
That's great.
yeah, man. And if you click on the link, you have more descriptions there, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and can
Yeah,
understand better
yeah, yeah.
about
So I
the
strongly,
course.
yeah. So everybody check this out, especially musicians. I'm sure it's going to be
Yeah.
great. And if it's inspired on Kenny Werner's effortless mastery, I
Uh,
mean, you can't go
I
wrong. It's
love.
going to be a help for a lot of musicians. Yeah,
Yeah, I really.
it's also some
I,
great psychological stuff there, and yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah,
yeah, I was listening to Kenny yesterday. I mean, also recommend this to everybody. Before yesterday, actually, Wednesday, all Wednesdays he's doing this live streams also. I think for Berkeley and for, it's really cool, man. It's really interesting the way the way he thinks about music. It's really helpful.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And he used to be Toots. He played with Toots all the time.
Yeah.
He did all the with Toots in America. He did all the tours,
You
also
know-
in Europe, but mostly in America. He used to be
Yeah,
Toots
man.
pianist. Yeah. Yeah.
I have a theory, you know. You know, I think we know Toots, so we know this kind of an angel was Toots. I mean, kind of this
Yeah.
lightning human being, you know. So I don't know. I think Kenny maybe got really inspired from this you know, this living with Toots. I really believe this. He never said that, I don't know, but I really believe this because Toots was always like the ideal for me, at least. I mean, it's not like a fan, but he was really a really cool human being, and he put everything he lived in his music. It was really I mean.
Yeah.
He was really for real.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
for real.
Yeah. Let's get to this. Let's look. What I'm going to do now, because we've done a lot of talking, I'm going to show a fantastic video where you perform with Snarky Puppy. And let's share some music, great video, and then afterwards we're going to talk forever about Toots. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
But I didn't speak about Snarky Puppy. Let me just
please
say a
quickly
little
introduce the video and then
Toots.
I'll play it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
it was really funny because I was playing this place called Circo Voador. It's a big place in Rio, and I was playing before Snarky Puppy. I was like open night, and then my colleague, the leader of the band,
Yeah.
he said, "Man, do you want to play with us?" It was really like gigging out. Yeah, man, of course. What song? Lingos. I said, wow, man, this is, I mean, maybe the most famous song from
Yeah.
them. So,
Yeah.
it was really a special moment. So enjoy.
Fantastic. Gabrielle Grossie with Snarky Puppy. Okay. Here it's coming. It's coming right now.
From Brazil, please welcome Gabrielle Grossie on harmonica.
Oh man. You know when I
That's beautiful.
oh man. When I must say, I don't know about you. I mean, this incredible
Wow.
footage and this incredible playing in this band and you, but if you see the
No, it's
crowd like that, then I start realizing that we're
fuck,
going
man.
through a difficult time not being able to play on stage. It's not
Fuck,
nothing
man.
beats playing for people who it's yeah, yeah. It's a
Uh,
challenging
I'm,
time.
I'm,
Yeah. Yeah.
I miss that so much, man.
Oh yeah, me too, man. When I see this, I go like, "Oh my god."
Shit.
Yeah, but
Oh, fuck.
let's stay positive and let's not crying on this live stream.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
man. I mean,
my goodness.
it's
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
crazy.
yeah, 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 yeah. We feel the
It's
same.
it's one of I think it's one of the most difficult things. I mean, not just of course all the the difficulties of I mean of getting this new situation and make it uh, work like in a professional way, let's say. And you're doing this beautiful live streams and it's so nice. I mean you wouldn't do that if it didn't happen this. So
That's
I
true.
mean,
It's so true. Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
also maybe I wouldn't do my online course and
yeah, yeah,
if
yeah, yeah, yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
So we are really thinking about new possibilities, but at the same point it's I miss so much. I'm like desperate to
Yeah.
play, man. I think my first gig after this, I'm gonna play for 10 hours.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, same here. Yeah, and then imagining that, I mean, I don't know how it's going to be like in Brazil, but here in the Netherlands, um, from so next month in June, you can play, but for maximum 30 people with all this distance. And if things,
Wow.
if you know, if it doesn't, if it stays okay, everything, then for 100 max. But yeah, but that's yeah. So it's challenging. It's challenging, but.
It's
It's
challenging, man,
challenging. So
definitely.
yeah, so yeah,
Um,
yeah. But
yeah, man.
let's switch to something we both, you know, something amazing. We already started because we couldn't resist mentioning the incredible Toots Tielemans, and
Yeah, man.
you know. Uh, I'm so interested also in your story. I mean, for me, you know, I had the incredible privilege, honor to play with him in a period of 10 years. I played on and off with him, and when he passed away 4 years ago, I I realized I played like 150 concerts with him all over the world. Really, really
Wow,
amazing. So
man.
I'm so incredibly grateful, and mainly also because, you know, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity to encounter and work with a pioneer. That's what he was. I mean, he took the harmonica, you know, and he created all this music from nothing, from scratch,
Yeah.
and influenced so many people like you, and you know, and
Uh,
sharing all this love, and then the ballad playing, and you know, and then, and of course, it's not only on stage. I learned so much from him, but also, you know, I mean, imagine you're sitting with a man like this for 3 weeks. You're on a tour in Japan, and you're sitting next to him on the trains and buses and airplanes, and he talks about Charlie Parker and all the, you know, he. I mean,
yeah.
it's you know, we could talk about this man. We could go until deep way. We could go like at 5 until 5 in the morning with his live stream. So,
Sure,
and I'm so
man.
incredibly grateful. But of course, and also because of Toots, I met a lot of harmonica players. He was always talking about, you know, like a couple great harmonica players, and he mentioned you a lot. And so I'm so interested um, in your relation with Toots.
Yeah, man. I mean, it was wow. So, I mean, Toots was not only, I like to say this really from my heart, it was not only the biggest influence in harmonica for everybody,
Yeah.
but in my opinion, it's not only forgetting about the instrument. I mean, in my opinion, he's one of the greatest musicians from all times. I mean, he's in this level of Charlie Parker,
Oh
Miles
yeah,
Davis,
yeah,
Wayne Shorter, I really, that's what my opinion, his feeling, his knowledge, and his communication. I think he really changed the world. I mean, with his art. I mean, it was really something really big. And in in my case, I was like, when I began to play the chromatic, I was listening to Mauricio, and then I remember this one day. I began to listen to Toots, and I was like in the car. I said, stop, man! What is happening? I was like,
Yeah.
who's playing this? What
Yeah.
the fuck?
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
it was really
Out of this world. Out of this world. Yeah. Yeah.
out of this world. I mean,
Yeah.
it kind of opened a window for me. Like,
Yeah.
man, this is I want this. I want this. I don't know how, but I want this. That's my path. To go through, to follow. And so, I mean, I had this amazing gift from Mauricio Einhorn, my master, my professor in Brazil. He did such a beautiful thing, man. I would never forget. So remembering again that today is his birthday, sending Mauricio a big hug.
Yeah.
And Mauricio, when he recorded in my first album, I recorded in 2002. So I gave a few CDs to Mauricio, and then Mauricio said, "Oh, man, I'm gonna share this and give to a few people this CDs." So he he sent to a lot of people, and then once I went to his place, and he told me, Gabriel, there's this guy that loved your CD. I said, yeah, man, nice. I was like, okay, nice. I was like, okay, but normal.
Yeah.
Not really excited. And
Yeah.
then I'm gonna call this guy here, and then he was like, hello, Toots.
Oh my God. Oh my
I-
God.
I-
That's
I
brutal.
almost had,
Yeah.
man,
You
I
almost,
almost
you,
had a
you
heart,
fainted.
heart
Yeah,
attack.
yeah.
I really,
Yeah.
I was like, I
Yeah.
freezed, man.
Yeah.
I freeze completely. I was like, Mauricio, I could not speak. I was like really crazy. It was really crazy. It was one of the biggest surprise from all times for me, because and then Toots was such a nice guy. I mean, you know this very well. So I mean,
Yeah.
the first
Yeah.
the first contact with him, and he said, "Oh man, I loved you playing. Please," he said, "please send me everything that you record, and call me whenever you want to call me." That's
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
his visit card.
Yeah.
And I was like,
yeah. That's
I was like, are you for real, man? Are you really? Do you really want me to do this? And he said, yeah, it's for real. And then I began to send all my albums to Toots, and I really called him for years and years, and I was like, so Toots, did you receive this album? Did you like it? And he
Yeah.
always listened to the albums,
Yes,
man.
yes.
I was
Yeah.
and he was like,
Yeah.
he really listened.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, I like this song. This song was cool. Oh, this song maybe it's too much.
Yeah.
He was like
Very
giving me
honest.
tips,
Yeah. Yeah.
Being really honest.
Yeah. And let me tell you something here, because when I played a lot with him in Europe, so sometimes we drove together, and then Dirk, the manager, and Veerle, Dirk, unfortunately, Dirk passed away a couple of years ago, already quite some few years ago actually. He had Toots had a portable CD player in the car, those CD players which run out of batteries within 1 hour, that kind of thing. But then, why? Because he was traveling all the time despite his age, and Dirk brought like this whole pile of CDs which were sent to the office, and he listened to every CD. He was not like, oh, I'll listen. That's so true. So, and also once he called me like 2 days before we had a concert, and he said, Mike, I heard about this and this Dutch band. Can you get a hold of a CD and bring it with you? Because I would love to listen to it. Yeah. Yeah, and I called them. Of course, I had the CD. You know, they sent it. Actually, even brought it to my place because they were so excited that Toots asked for it. And then I brought it, and he started to listen. You know, he was like that. You know, so you know, and that's also something you hear back in his music. This details, these amazing. You know, yeah, an amazing.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, he's like, well, I don't know, man. It's
Yeah.
there's you know, I was talking to my friend last week. We were speaking about Toots, and and then we made a kind of a joke. But it would be a situation like an ideal situation. It would be like this: this guy goes to the Everest, you know, and he's like, you know, there for days, and it never gets to that point where he want to get. And then when he finally arrives there, there's this master guru,
Yeah.
and he only can ask one question to this guy. He can only ask one question, and then he asks the guy, "Hey man, how can Toots Tillemans find those notes?"
That's yeah. That's,
I mean,
yeah.
I was like, when I listened to 2000, man, I don't think my instrument have these notes, man. Let me
It's,
find.
you
this.
know, it's like a it was like a magician, you know, like
It's a magician. It's
I
really
yeah.
unexpected. I mean, I
Yeah.
would actually really like to ask you about this. I don't really know about his formation. I mean, about study of theory and all these things. Is he was like really intuitive? How was? Do you know?
He had this I think great combination of knowledge of music, of course, and being
course, yeah.
intuitive at the same time. I think he had the perfect mixture of these two ingredients. Yeah, yeah,
Man,
yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah, yeah,
amazing.
yeah, yeah. He
Because you can really feel that it's never he's always on the edge playing. That's what
Yeah.
I was thinking. I mean
Yeah.
he was never, he's always challenging himself.
Yeah.
We can see this, and I think for the improvisers that's our big goal. You know,
Yeah,
where
yeah, yeah.
when people when we listen to people, they're great, but they're really predictable.
Yeah,
And I love the way that's what inspired me actually.
yeah,
Yeah, and my career, my formation, my studies, I always want to be on the edge. You know, I don't want to go, you know, and know exactly what I'm gonna do. I want to surprise
Yeah.
myself,
yeah,
because it's
yeah,
otherwise I cannot surprise the public, you know,
yeah,
the general
yeah,
public,
yeah,
because I have to be excited with what's gonna happen. And I think Toots, it's perfect. I mean, he's like he was always surprising me. I listened to the same thing for 20 years, and I'm still like, wow, man,
yeah,
wow,
yeah.
this is
Yeah. Because I mean, you know, for instance, we played in Japan for 3 weeks. We did all the blue notes, and the blue notes means playing twice. So you play a concert, and they change the audience, and then you have to play another concert from scratch. And in the meanwhile,
Yeah.
they feed you amazing food in Japan. That's you know, it was an amazing tour, amazing gig. But then, yeah.
nice,
So of
man.
course we had our program, and you prepared the program. But and you know, and he played. We had the array. Although he would change also. He would suddenly play something totally unexpected, and we had to follow the band. You know, he had these moments too. But there was a kind of a basic program, and but once he started improvising, I never ever heard him repeat himself. Always new melodies, and especially in the ballads. You know, when he started playing those ballads, when I think about it now, I have goosebumps, and I remember I was sometimes on stage, sitting with him on stage, and being really touched, and everybody in the whole band, like Bruno, we played a lot with Bruno Castellucci and with Bart when we were looking at each other. We were actually almost afraid to look at each other, And also like in Japan, I mean, Japan is such an amazing, wonderful place to play, and the people. But of course, they have they have a very polite culture, and it's not in the Asian culture to show your emotions. That's not the case in Brazil. It's and then of course, so the people were always kind of. But then as an encore, he always played "What a Wonderful World." Louis
Oh,
Armstrong, and then the entire audience, they were all like sobbing, and all like that. There was,
oh,
and yeah, they couldn't resist. It's that
no,
yeah, it was so powerful that's and I also think, Gabriel, you can only really achieve this if you're a true. You cannot do that through comedy or through acting or whatever. This is not a
no,
trick. This is pure
no.
passion and emotion for music. And he had this thing,
And
yeah, yeah. So
that was himself, I think.
yeah,
And that's
yeah,
his personality, his human being, his every
yeah,
all
yeah, yeah, yeah,
details
yeah,
in his life. I mean,
yeah,
I really believe music it walks together with
yeah,
the other, with your other qualities and
yeah,
skills. I mean, it's not, you cannot be like a. It's really hard to be so touchable like him.
yeah,
And I think you can be a great musician and a jerk, but not great, maybe a very touchable human being and musician and a jerk. It
no,
doesn't
no,
fix,
no, 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 no.
uh,
I think I also think you play what you are, and you are what you play.
yeah, man,
That's
definitely,
you can I can I mean, it's not all, there are some exceptions, but most people I know, when I hear their music and I haven't met
me
them yet,
too.
I kind of know how they're going to be,
Yeah,
and the other way around.
no, me too. I really,
Yeah, it's very much related. You are what you
I, I,
play.
to,
You play what you are,
I
I think.
totally, I totally agree, man. And
Yeah,
and I mean, Toots was really, I mean, it was like I think our granddaughters will
yeah,
will talk about Toots, our the
yeah,
granddaughters
yeah,
of.
yeah. Oh
I mean,
yes.
he's forever.
Oh
He's
yeah.
he's
Oh, it's
forever.
timeless. It's timeless. Yeah.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
and
And what's nice, because he admired you a lot. There were a couple of
oh,
harmonica players he was talking about. It's Antonio Serrano and you, and he said, check those guys
yeah,
out. And he also said, like the future of harmonica is in safe hands with guys like this, because, and he was like that. So no, man, he admired you a lot. So
that's a
yeah,
big compliment, man.
yeah, 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 yeah,
I was so touched. I mean, it was really special. Also, I have this friend. You met him also, Alex Hossi,
yeah, yeah,
which
yeah.
is a
He lives here
harmonica
in
player from.
Amsterdam. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, he lives in Amsterdam.
yeah.
So we produced together a CD, an album in tribute to Toots. Uh, we produced this together, and it calls "We Do It Out of Love." And yeah,
I do it for
and
your yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
and
nice,
we
nice.
invited this people. We invited Antonio. We invited Gregoire
Yeah,
Maher,
yeah,
which is
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah, yeah,
bass
yeah, yeah. So fantastic. Yeah,
also, and I know him. He always spoke about this. He told me that, and I mean,
yeah.
I
True.
was
Yeah,
so
yeah,
so
yeah,
touched when he said, "Oh," I began to cry. But
yeah,
I mean, I was so happy that I had the opportunity to produce this album, to invite some people that he loved, and 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 to give it this album to him. And that was really special because uh, when I went, that was the last time I saw him. So I went to his place, La Hulpe,
yeah. La Hulpe. Yeah,
and
close to
La
Brussels. Yes.
Hulpe,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
to
Yeah, La
Brussels,
Hulpe. Yeah,
and,
yeah,
and then we sat together, and I said, "Man, Toots, this album is for you. We recorded to you. We are all your sons. So
yeah,
thanks. We're really, really grateful." And I was with Alex as well, and we sat together, and we listened to the whole album. And Toots was listening, and he was so happy. I mean,
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
and
it's beautiful.
and Huguette, his wife,
Yeah,
in the beginning, she said, "Oh, Toots is a little tired, and please do not,
yeah, 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 yeah.
do
Yeah,
not take long." And then we were supposed to be at his place for around an hour, maybe, and then he didn't let us go. He said,
no.
"No, no, don't go, don't go, don't go." And then when we saw, like, was like we're like 5 hours in his place and listening to the music again, and he was so happy. And in some point, when I said goodbye to him, I I was feeling that it was like a last goodbye,
Yeah, yeah,
personally, physically, let's say,
yeah.
because there is not a day in my life that I don't remember him.
No,
Not
no,
not o-
no.
not only his notes, but his presence,
Yeah.
his spiritual presence. I can really feel this inside. Uh, it's really.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah, it's amazing. And yeah, 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 yeah. It's amazing. It's amazing. And you know what's also really a thing, what I found very sad was that when he stopped playing, stopped performing for people, it was not. The only reason he couldn't do it because of his hearing. He had a hearing problem, and so he couldn't hear himself back. And other than that, being in his 90s, and he had and he had asthma and all of that, he was so strong. Only the hearing was the problem. That's why he had to stop. And then was still being at home, like for 2 years before he passed away, sitting at home doing nothing. Fortunately, people like you and other my very respected colleague Karel Boulet, great
Yeah.
pianist. He used to go to his house and they used to play together. So because he loved to, and that's good that people didn't forget him. But it was frustrating for him to be,
Yeah, man.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So it was, but yeah, of course. But yeah, if you're, yeah, at some point, yeah, well, 94. It's a respectable age, but we still miss him, right? And it's
Yeah,
in the
no, a lot,
presence.
man,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's really funny that you say this. I mean, I think I know. I don't know. And I feel this. I feel this guys are Mauricio. It's like him. He was some kind of uh, a young kid at some point, like really, really young youth spirit. Like
yeah.
he was like really happy, really not heavy, really. I think that was really beautiful. And I think there's something really special, Mike, about this moment we speaking about Toots, because Toots had an amazing relation with Holland and with Brazil.
Yeah. Oh
uh,
yeah. Oh
uh,
yes. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
because I mean, about Holland, I mean, he did this TV thing, and he
Yeah.
was
Turks fruit, the movie. It's a Turkish
yeah,
fruit. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and he was really popular in Holland, right? I mean,
Oh. Oh
really
yeah. 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 Because of
really
the
popular,
movie
right?
and Blue Z, and of course, yeah. 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 Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He was huge here.
Maybe
They adored him
he,
here.
he had
Yeah.
a really strong relation, and also in Brazil. I mean, he recorded this beautiful Brazil's projects.
Yeah.
This album is
Yeah.
amazing, and with Elise Regina,
Yeah. Yeah. Nuts. Yeah.
a lot of things with Brazil. I mean, he was kind of I don't know. I think he had this universal connection, of course, but he had a really special connection with Holland and with Brazil. So it's
Yes.
really really special that we were talking
Well,
about
we have
this
this.
now.
It's true. It's true. It's true. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. He also always, because we talked about a lot about Brazilian music, and he always said the magic in Brazilian harmony is where they place the minor chord.
yeah.
That's what he always and then
Oh,
how that in Brazilian music a minor chord they place in such a brilliant way that it sounds like a major chord. It makes it's a happy feeling, or this mixed feeling, what you call like saudade, right? This like a
yeah,
melancholic kind of thing, but he was so obsessed by the Brazilian harmony too. I mean, yeah,
Oh man,
yeah,
he
yeah, yeah.
was,
We,
and
we
he was
yeah, yeah,
about Ivan Lins. I was
yeah.
remember you see, you're talking about harmony. I remember an amazing solo, an amazing interpretation about this song in this song Começar de Novo.
Yeah, yeah,
You know this.
yeah,
I mean, this is like an epic recording, and I was speaking with Ivan a few months ago, and I spoke about this recording, and Ivan told me he was like a it was like a first take, you know.
yeah, yeah. Oh,
he
yeah, yeah,
he
yeah, yeah, yeah.
he went to the studio and bah, first take, and everybody was crying after the take. Every the sound engineer, Ivan, his wife, everybody was crying. I mean, it
Yeah,
was like a,
yeah,
it's like
yeah.
God, it's like divine, you
It's
know,
amazing.
like an
Yeah,
angel.
yeah, yeah. When I said
His listening,
it's amazing. I
his
think so.
listening
I
to
think
us.
so. Yeah. Oh, like I said before, you know, if you manage in Japan to make an entire audience cry when you play "What a
Yeah,
Wonderful
man.
World," I mean, yeah, that says a lot,
His
right? Yeah,
videos,
yeah, it's
he
beautiful.
was he wasn't still really
Yeah,
powerful,
yeah,
and
yeah, 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 yeah.
that's endless.
Yeah. So actually, live stream wise, during my live streams, I'm so happy you're with us here. The great Gabrielle Grossie. I broke really a record in terms of how long the live stream is because of Toots and all. We are, you know, we could go on for hours. So I would like, would you, because would you like to play something live here during the live stream? I think people would love to
Yeah,
hear
man,
something,
please.
and then yeah, so you're
Yeah,
please play something
let's
and
you know when I this last time I was speaking about Toots. So this last time I was in Toots' house, I played for him a beautiful Brazilian tune called Carinhoso
oh
from Pixinguinha,
yeah, yeah.
one of which is one of or the best, the most beautiful melodies. I love it. So I remember I played this to him. So yeah, it would be nice to play this.
Please,
So
please,
yeah.
yeah. Wow. Thank you. Gabrielle Grossie. Wow. Now, you know, for everybody who's watching, it's not for nothing that Toet said, with this man, the future of the harmonica is in safe hands. Thank you. Thank you. Beautiful. Yeah, the great Gabrielle Grossie. Yeah. Okay, before, I mean, we could still be talking for hours, but maybe at some point you have to get back to your family and all of that. Yeah, because you know, and I would like to thank you so much. So again, if you are on this, or if you are watching this and you're on Facebook, please do us a big favor and share this post. You know, it's nice that this reaches out to a lot of music lovers. You know, having such an incredible guest musician and great human being on the show, Gabrielle. And so please share wherever you can. And also, again, I'm going to put the link of your online course.
Great.
Yeah, I'll put it there right after the show. And of course, if you have any questions, let us know. I can always forward the questions to Gabrielle or whatever. Yeah, it's beautiful. I would really like to thank you from the bottom of my heart to join this live stream. I think many people with us, and
nice.
yeah, and you know, and be on the lookout for his new album, which is called Plural, right? Plural,
Yes,
Plural,
yes,
and
yes.
featuring Jacob Collier. So a lot of great, you know, and you can follow Gabrielle on all his social media channels on YouTube, on Facebook, You're also quite big on Instagram, I think. So you're everywhere.
I like
yeah.
Instagram.
Yeah, and you know,
Yeah.
so
Oh,
yeah.
all the
So I want to really thank
streaming.
you, and I'm also going to show another, I think, very appropriate video, another one of your band and one of your compositions dedicated to Toots, and it's entitled Samba Pro Toots. So before I do this, I would like to thank everybody to join. I'll be back on Monday at 10 p.m. Amsterdam Central European Time. I'll do a solo live stream for you, playing piano, answering your questions, whatever, improvise, talk about music. So let me know if you have any requests, and I would be happy to fulfill those. So again, but stick around and watch this great video of Gabrielle Grossie with Samba Pro Toots. Thank you so much. All my love.
Thank you, Mike.
Yeah.
It was really, really special. Really, I'm really, really happy to. This conversation was really inspiring to me, and
Same here.
you know, I'd like to send a big hug and a warm and virtual
Yeah.
hug to everybody.
Yes, thank you for
Thank you.
for joining
Thank
us.
you
The
all.
great Gabrielle Grossie. Okay, so here's the video. Thank you.
From Brazil.
The great Gabrielle Grossie, who was here with my live stream tonight. Thank you so much, Gabriel. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Please tune in on Monday, 10 p.m. Amsterdam Central European Time. Please share this stream. If you would like to make a donation, zero obligation. My PayPal address is there. And of course, if you refer to this particular live stream with Gabrielle Grossie, of course, it'll also go to Brazil. So, thanks again for watching. Thanks for listening. Love you all. Stay safe, stay healthy, and see you on Monday. All my love.
Ciao, ciao.